Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Save Point podcast. This is episode 63, 64, something like that. I never get our episodes right. I don't know why I ever keep saying that, but whatever. It's in the 60s. We're getting close to 70 finally.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking forward to.
Yeah, the 70th episode.
Yes.
So, but no, my name is Dan, host. I'm joined here in the studio with Ryan, like always. Ryan always joins me here.
Yo.
Chris is on Discord.
Hey, everybody.
And, we have a new person. It seems that we always kind of have a new person, and kind of on a limb of how I met her, kind of an interesting way. First off, her name is Katie. So how's it going, Katie?
I am good. How are you doing?
Awesome. The way that I actually invited her to see if she wanted to join us, you remember this because I was kind of laughing hysterically on the inside with this. Katie used to work at a certain store that sold certain games that we play on our TVs and on our computers, okay? Which we will not say. And
I stopped gaming at that store.
You stopped gaming at that store?
Yeah.
That stopped being the stop of your games?
Yes.
Okay, got it. So, Kate, if I can say, you have a fair amount of tattoos, correct?
I do. Yes, I have one that's. I have two very, very big pieces and then a couple other small ones, but there is a very big piece on my forearm.
Uh-huh.
So, and the store never had temperature consistency, so I would always, put my sleeves up.
Yep.
And everyone can see that huge piece.
Yep. So, this gentleman that's in front of me, let's just say I think that he was fond of Katie. That's all I'm going to say. Okay? Would that be an astute assessment?
Well, that's a very, very good point assessment.
Okay. So, does that, and he mentions her tattoos. And we're like, okay, cool, whatever. And I'm standing behind him. I'm like, okay, cool. Like, you can do your purchase because I kind of want to do my purchase now too. Type sort of thing. She's the only one working in the store at the time. So, or at least at the front where somebody was taking care of somebody. And this guy...
just me.
Huh?
I said, no, that was just me.
It was just her. Okay. So, does this, and this guy proceeds. That's a word. Proceeds to start showing his tattoos to her. I'm thinking, okay, cool, dude. Like, got it. Awesome. Cool, get it. Awesome. Trying to... I see your game, okay? Decides that he wants to now start to take his shirt off to show his back piece.
No. Mm-mm.
In the middle of the store.
Yeah, not like, hey, I'm going to lift up the back of my shirt so you can see her, down the collar or whatever. No, legitimately, pulls his arm through the sleeve and puts it over his shoulder.
Did you just audibly yell out, no?
I was like, I love tattoos. So I was like, oh yeah, those are cool. And, was nice, polite. And then he left. And then every single person in line that was ever there that day, that has come back, always tells me about that guy. Because that's the one thing you remember. Because he really did, take his sleeves out, pull his hoodie up.
Yep.
And just chest and back tattoos.
Yep. Yeah, so I kind of went up and I'm like, hey, dude, those are pretty cool. And I kind of stared at him. I think he got basically, put the 2 thumbs up. So from there, needless to say, I think I did actually comment that I did actually like your tattoos. But I wasn't about to start to show mine. And then, because I got a video game tattoo. I'm not gonna be like, hey, you want to check out mine on my right leg?
That one?
No, I didn't have this one at the
Gotcha.
time.
I was going to say, it's on your forearm. It's not like that would have been creepy.
No, I have
All
my
you had to do is go, look.
No, I have my Assassin's Creed one on the back of my leg.
Okay.
Yeah,
that would have been weird.
Yeah. Yeah. So
the Amish would have loved it.
And then I don't know how like we just started chatting. Like I don't think we made fun. Like we didn't make fun of the guy, but like
Why not?
whatever. Why not? But it just kind of came up that
It's funny because I was wearing my wedding ring.
Yeah, that was kind of funny.
Men don't care. Yeah, we don't care.
So I did that, and I think we just started chatting, and then I think I mentioned or you mentioned something about the guy wants to know. You know, you used to have a guy that did a podcast here, and he used to come in, and now he doesn't, or whatever. And I'm like, oh, well, that's me. I'm like, I still do the podcast. And then I was like, you know, would you want to ever be on the show? And said yeah, and then from there we kind of just set up, and here she is.
I promise none of us will show you our tattoos.
Please don't.
Yeah, thank you.
So, that was weird. Okay.
Except for Chris, maybe.
Chris doesn't have any.
Hey,
Chris, you don't have any tattoos, do you?
I got a cupcake on a spot that would probably make me. I'd probably go to jail if I showed it to people.
So that's a no. He doesn't have any tattoos.
I've seen it.
No,
Oh, you've seen it. Though I think if you take if you take my number of tattoos, Ryan's number of tattoos, Katie, I think you actually beat us by a lot.
Yep. Between the two of us, it's only 5, Dan.
Yeah. So-
Yeah, because I'm working on my sleeve, and then my other arm was going to be complete anime video games. One arm's my spiritual, the other
Okay.
arm is going to be that, and so that's how we like kind of got on the topic of tattoos as well.
Yeah, that's true.
But I do have quite a bit. I am a very, very big fan of tattoos,
Yeah.
but I'm also a very big fan of being like very preppy and blonde. So it's a weird mixture.
Interesting. Okay.
Basically, it's kind of like you, Dan, where people look and they wouldn't expect to see tattoos if they don't see them, and then when they actually like see even the glimpse of a tattoo, they're like, "Really?"
Well, actually, yeah, that was it. It's kind of weird. So, like, I got this last one on my forearm, and even at work. So, like, I don't pull my sleeves up all the way, so people will only see like the point on my sleeve, and then I'll actually pull my arm.
And they
up
think it's Satan.
No, they don't. It just looks like it's just a star. But I like my star. I like what it represents. The question: does a sleeve constitute as one tattoo?
Depends on the size of the one tattoo.
Yeah, it can based on the size.
A sleeve just goes from basically your wrist all the way to your shoulder.
Well, what if you
that's
don't-
one tattoo? Then that's still a sleeve.
Yeah, but if there's multiple pictures and multiple symbols and all of that within that sleeve, does that mean that you have separate tattoos that compromise the sleeve, or
A sleeve is
compose,
a sleeve, man.
or a sleeve is just considered one full tattoo?
Oh, I see what you're asking. No, it's
Um,
a sleeve is just a description of a tattoo that goes from basically your wrist to all the way through
Okay.
your shoulder.
Katie,
like it doesn't need to be one image. It can be just a bunch of different tattoos. But if it goes from like your wrist all the way up to your shoulder, then that's considered a sleeve. Mine is gonna have more of a matching pattern.
okay.
But some people just have sleeves, and it's just the things they love and like.
Yep. Well, no. What I'm asking though is that like, so you have a matching pattern. If a different,
Yes.
yeah. Okay, never mind.
It's
We're moving on.
it's a
We're
s-
moving on.
The answer is it's a sleeve.
Okay,
That's the
it's a
answer.
sleeve.
It's a sleeve.
So okay, it's a sleeve. Got it. So with it being a sleeve, we'll kind of just slide into the next topic. I don't know if I did that right or not, but
That was a
whatever.
horrible
God.
segue.
Yeah, that's a
was-
horrible
I just
segue.
can't get over thinking about. Katie, was it you that said tattoos just represent things that people love in life? I have a lot of questions for Randy Orton.
Yeah, that's true. It's true.
I
Yeah,
have not seen him lately.
It's all skulls.
yeah, it's all skulls. He's hurt. He's been hurt for a while, almost a year now.
Fuck if I know.
Oh, geez,
Yeah, I know you
really?
don't watch wrestling, so
I was so into WW. I was so into ECW. I was into wrestling
Whoa.
so much because of my cousins and my brother. Until my brother told me that was fake, because I didn't know that as a kid.
Wait.
How old were you when you found this out? I have to know.
There's a little bit of a backstory of people calling wrestling fake when it comes to
12?
Ryan.
No.
Okay.
12? Okay, I can see that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's the thing. Ryan,
We're not going to get in that conversation. Let's
no.
continue
I'm
with the
gonna
show.
bring this one part up. We don't feel that it's fake.
It's
It's
basically
scripted.
no. It's basically like watching an action scene from a movie. Same thing.
Yeah, it's scripted.
Yeah, same. Thing.
So
Um,
okay.
Yeah, Dan, I'm not.
Yeah, we're
I
not
don't
gonna
care
we're not
about
gonna
that.
go into
I
that.
don't care about that word anymore. It doesn't bother me.
Okay, got it. But no, going into our first topic. So one of the things that we do here is that we talk about what we've been playing. So, Katie, why don't you, since you're new, why don't you start? Why don't you tell us what you've been playing? I know you have one game you do want to talk about and kind of go into depth a little bit with it. So, take it away.
Well, yeah, I recently just got Elden Ring, because I'm late on stuff. I expected it to go down in price. I don't know why. So I have been enjoying that, but I have especially been enjoying Final Fantasy Crisis Core, the remake.
Yep.
It is amazing. They took if you follow the Final Fantasy series.
Yeah.
It is supposed to be the prequel to Final Fantasy VII,
Mm-hmm.
and throughout the Final Fantasy series, how you fight is always turn-based.
Yep.
Like, okay, and then you pick who attacks, and
Mm-hmm.
this one is literally you go up hack and slash, just
Yeah.
like 15 was.
I agree with you on that one. I picked up Crisis Core, and yeah, it is very hack and slashy. Not even to, it reminds me of how 7 Remake plays. And Chris, you've played 7 Remake, so you kind of understand this.
I played Crisis Core.
You played the new Crisis Core?
I played it on the PSP.
That was turn based. To
No,
a
it was
point.
not.
No, it wasn't. It was kind of hacky slashy still. That's right, it was. So
I'm just waiting for the right time to get Crisis Core. I am super excited about that. My boy Zeke.
Zeke, you mean Zach?
It is supposed to be like
Zach, sorry. It's been
Mhm.
literally since the PlayStation Portable since I played this game.
Yeah, I'm challenging you that. I don't remember it being slashy.
I mean,
they specifically said this one they were gonna follow 15 style, just because older gamers are very used to how Final Fantasy works.
Uh-huh.
But newer gamers are they know how hack and slash. So I think they're trying to appeal to that crowd now, which is a good tactic, good business tactic. Go with what's gonna sell. I could see people having a problem with it, only because if you're a diehard Final Fantasy fan, it's just not like that turn. It doesn't feel like that turn-based. So the fighting style that might affect it, but to me, I love it. I mean, I binge it.
Yeah, I've been playing it. I've been playing it on the Steam Deck, and I tried playing it on monitor, and I'm like, okay, it's cool, on monitor on PC. But I think because I did also play it on PSP, and yes, I did beat it. Jerks.
Yeah,
So-
but did you
first
finish
time
the
I've ever
game?
heard.
I did finish the game. What, Chris?
That's the first time I've heard you say that. Wow, I beat it. You beating the game? It must have been good,
Yeah.
or it was just so bad you couldn't stop playing it.
No. So what actually happened with me is that I was in college when I got it, and I was bouncing for a bar in college. So I would be the door guy, and this bar would not be that interesting, nor a lot of people would show up until about 11 o'clock.
Is this the same one I did the same thing for?
Yep. Am I right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's really not that.
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah, it's not
It's
that
quiet.
interesting.
It's a quiet.
It's quiet.
It's uneventful, which is
Yes.
a good thing.
Yes. But they wanted us out there around 8 o'clock. So for about 8 to about 11 o'clock, there was really nothing going on. So I brought my PSP, and I ended up picking up Crisis Core. So that's basically how I kept playing that game. Was I went through and beat the whole game while bouncing at a bar. So,
I think I had it for the PSP. Because I had a PSP, and that's definitely something. Oh my goodness, the PSP was so long ago.
Yeah.
But it also like has where it has a lot of changes in between it. I mean, you can basically now sprint through the game, hack and slash it.
Yep.
Because it does have that new sprint feature. Like the new, like the cutscenes, they're more cinematic, but you have to expect that from Final Fantasy.
Yeah, I agree.
They are
with you.
always bound, like their graphics are always amazing.
Yeah.
So, but you can get it in Japanese dialogue as well too. So I do like that.
So you're playing it with Japanese audio and just reading subtitles?
Yeah, so you can get like the Japanese audio and then turn the English subtitles on.
Yeah.
And I just prefer that because I'm an anime fan and I prefer to do things like from Japan.
Yep.
In their original voice and stuff like that.
Chris, do you do that with Monster Hunter?
No.
No, you still...
no. I did it for my first playthrough because the English voice actors are trash.
Yeah. But
yeah,
awesome.
Japanese one.
Awesome. Ryan, what have you been playing?
I was actually playing a lot of Elden Ring, like a lot, because I wanted to give it a shot after Game of the Year. Me saying it didn't deserve it, I was like, well, I'll try and give my opinion some merit, and I'll actually play the game. Opinion still stands. It's a good game, but opinion still stands. But yeah, no, it was a lot of fun. That and a little bit of Call of Duty.
And the opinion again is
that it shouldn't have won Game of the Year over God of War.
Okay.
Even after playing as much as I did,
something to say on that.
No, there's no stretch of the imagination that I can see that.
Huh.
I'm sorry.
No, I think God of War got cheated because it released so close to the video games awards that it didn't have enough time to sell as much and stuff like that as Elden Ring.
If they wanted Game of the Year, they should have waited a month.
And released it in January? Or
Yep.
wait, when did it? No, it released in November.
Mm-hmm.
So
They should have waited. They should have waited until January. If they wanted that reward, that prestige, Game of the Year, they should have waited till 2023. But 2023 has so many more games coming out that it would have been more competition.
They would have beat all those games. I know it's coming out in 2023.
Starfield?
They would have beat
Starfield, Diablo.
Yeah, Diablo 4. They're Xbox is gonna, if Xbox keeps their release windows as they were, even though that I'm saying release windows, I don't want to say dates because they really haven't put dates on a lot of things. They've just put release windows. If they keep that, and it's true, you're right. I think remember, Xbox didn't really win anything this year at the Video Game Awards.
Yep, they shouldn't have.
Yeah, they really haven't come out with anything. Chris, or Katie, did you watch it? I can't remember them actually winning anything this year.
No. Yeah, they didn't win.
Yeah,
This
so
will be the year of the Xbox.
yeah, so I'm
That's
thinking.
why I strongly believe they should have waited a month.
Well, we're predicting it'll be year of the Xbox. Let's see how things turn out. I mean, Starfield is what it is. It's Bethesda, but Bethesda also made Fallout 76.
It's true.
But then everyone does use the argument, oh, this was the first year God of War didn't win Game of the Year when the year it was released. And I don't like that argument because it's just like there wasn't time. So it's not really a fair argument to say that and like to compare that. Because of course, like Elden Ring came out, jeez,
February.
You know, had plenty of time to fix anything was wrong and all that. But you know, God of War only got a month.
Yeah. Well,
God of War didn't really need to fix anything.
yeah, and that's the thing. It's like Elden Ring really didn't fix anything either.
No, there wasn't much to fix.
No, there wasn't.
The game wasn't bug ridden.
No,
they fixed the fact that in the beginning there's you're supposed to die and there's a black hole that you are supposed to jump down. And that is the tutorial. But no one was doing it, so Elden Ring did put in that fix, like, and that's why everyone was like, this is too hard, it doesn't tell you what to do, I hate it. Well, they put in the message, hey, for the tutorial, jump down this, you know.
Yeah, it's a message like players leave for each other. There's one like by the cliffside now that lets people know, go down here.
Yeah, it's for a tutorial.
I had the advantage of having you and Chris coaching me. That's the only reason I knew about it.
See, it popped up for me, like, separately, like, told me to go jump down that hole. I don't know when you bought, I just bought it this month.
No, I bought it when it came out. I just didn't care for it and didn't actually really play it until recently.
Okay. We all got it when it came out. I don't know. Like, I still, this is the thing that doesn't get me, and it really throws me is that we counted because you were here. God of War took 6 of those awards.
Yeah, me and you had the theory that if you win that many awards,
you should be winning game of the year.
Plus the whole, Elden Ring sold more copies because of the length of time argument. Avatar made the most money out of all movies, but
it's not that great of a movie.
It shouldn't win Best Picture.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Jesus, I took a dump and took a gander at it, and it was the same thing as watching Avatar.
Oh, you went there.
I fell asleep during the first one. Yeah.
Okay. So, Ryan's first poop joke. So, okay. Chris.
Now, I don't have that strong of opinion negative about Elden Ring now after playing it, but I still think God of War should have taken it. That's just my opinion.
Oh, wait. Before we get to Chris, though, you do have something. You did pick up something that you've also been playing with.
Oh, yeah. The DualSense Edge. That's what it's called.
Yeah.
Yeah, that new fancy PlayStation Pro controller. I'd advise people who are thinking about it to buy it. It's got a lot of cool features.
It's worth the $200 price tag?
Yeah, they added a couple buttons on the bottom, these FN buttons that allow you to map specific control settings.
Yep.
You can have one set for each game and instantly have access to 4 at a time. You just click an FN button, hit triangle, square, X, or circle, and it immediately switches the control settings. It's got, if you've ever seen a Pro controller, it's got options where you can add
pedals on the back.
Paddles on the back. It has, you can change the how much pressure you need to put on the left and right L2 and R2 triggers to use them.
The trigger sensitivity.
Like I was playing Call of Duty last night, and I told you, Dan, I saw the significant difference in one-on-one confrontations with players and how much faster I'm taking them down. Just because while they don't have that, they have to push L2 to aim down all the way and R2 to aim down all the way. It's just basically I just tap it with my finger.
Yep. Well, you're using one of the paddles as the R1 and
I replaced. I don't use L1 and R1 for any game anymore. I use 2 paddles on the back, so I don't even have to move my index fingers and worry about that anymore. They just stay fixed.
So, do you feel that this is an unfair advantage then? because
Probably.
not anybody can just throw down $200.
Probably, but it's not like I'm not dominating.
That's true. That's true.
Like, you know what I mean?
That's
I can
true.
see an improvement, but I'm not
Yeah.
dominating. I mean, it's an advantage, but
Do you-
if you're a better player, you're still a better
Do
player.
you see any advantage out of?
I think it just helps someone who's not that great have more of a chance.
Got it. Do you feel it being used out of first-person shooters?
I could see a use for it outside of first-person shooters. I played Elden Ring with it a little bit.
Okay.
I can see the advantage of that. That's big. That's a big help in Elden Ring.
Yeah.
Barely having to worry about touching the button to attack.
Yep. Well, I mean, you brought it over, obviously in studio, and this is the first time that I've actually seen it in person. I like it. I think it's a little heavier, just a tad. Not
It's heavier. It's got more tech in it.
yeah, but not enough where like I feel my hands would get tired holding it.
No, they don't.
Yeah.
They don't get tired. It feels nice.
Yeah.
The grip feels great. Plus, it's got that feature I showed you where it's got the locking system for when
Yeah.
you charge it to protect the cord.
Yep.
And then it's got the easy access to the for the analogs for the left and right analog sticks. It's easy to pop the front plate off and get access to not just like you don't have to follow tutorial and take off screws. You just pop them out and you can replace anything to combat the PS5 horrific stick drift issue.
Yeah. Well, I mean, all consoles deal with that. I mean, I know Xbox is, and it's not as bad as the
I never
Nintendo
de-
though.
This is the first.
I mean,
PlayStation
it
5 was the
sounds
first time I
like-
dealt with it,
It sounds exactly like the Elite controller from Xbox.
which
Yep.
I also used and was great.
So you guys can see it on here. Obviously, normal one. I think the interesting thing is, and then that's that one. So I think the interesting thing is right here on the front, like where you plug in, that's more edged. Like this is round here. On yours, there's like an actual corner.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just one of those kind of interesting design characters that I just noticed. Not that I think it's doing. I think the touchpad actually looks glossier, or
Well, it's got patterns to it. I don't know. Let's see. I think
Yeah.
It's just patterned with the buttons.
Yeah.
They're tiny triangles, squares, X's, and circles
yep.
all over it. It's just got a design to it. That's all.
I mean, it's got. I mean,
Now, one of my friends got this controller, and they did complain about the battery life of it.
Yeah, the
What's your
battery life
opinion?
is pretty bad, but the good thing is the cord that they provide you is pretty damn long. Like I compared it to one I had to buy from a third party off Amazon, and it's about the same length. Like it reaches. My TV is on one end of my room, my living room, and then the couch is on the other end, and it reaches.
yeah,
And
you're
the
one. Of,
PlayStation's right next to the TV, and it reaches. So it's
you're one of
plugging it
those,
in to charge is not a big deal.
You're one of those people, and I'm just one of the. I it's probably just because I'm blind. I need to kind of sit up close to a TV, not like my face in the TV, but I need to be closer to the TV to when I'm playing a game.
Well, my TV's also enormous, so I don't want to.
But you can, you sit far back though. Like,
It's on the opposite end of the room.
yeah, you do, and I don't know how you do it. So, because when I would be over by you or whatever, I'd always sit like right in front of the TV, even not knowing how big it was. When we lived together, I used to sit in front of the TV, closer.
yeah,
So
we'd play 2K, and it would be like a dad and son watching television.
yeah,
You on the floor sitting with your legs crossed like a samurai,
yeah,
right up looking at TV, and me all the way back on the couch kicking your ass.
Yep. Well, no, we used to put.
We did the team thing.
Yeah, we did the team thing. He would have.
Mortal Kombat was the games we
Yeah.
used to have tournaments with.
Yeah, I think what is it? We went through a whole season, and in was it 2K17?
12.
2K12. Oh wow, that is a long time ago. 2K12, and I would have 100 points just on my own. He'd have 100 assists because he'd always assist me, and the rest of our guys would have like -3 points.
You can't have.
I know you can't
You
have.
can't
I'm
have negative
trying to make
points.
a point here. Okay, blown joke, whatever. So no, that was fun times because then we would go and then play that all day and then go get drunk that night.
And then people would come back, and we would have Mortal Kombat tournaments.
That usually what our
And my
weekend
cousin,
consisted of.
Everyone knows it. Phil, he's been on the show
Yep.
before. Would kick the crap out of everybody.
Yep, it was fun. Chris, Oh wait! Before we get to Chris,
No,
sorry,
you
no.
already did that.
Yeah,
Let's
no.
get
This
to
is,
Chris.
no,
Let
I'm going to
Chris-
see how many times I can call Chris and say,
No.
"Hey, Chris, get ready."
No.
and then not.
You're not Jimmy Kimmel. He's not Matt Damon.
Okay, sorry. Okay, so no, wait, right. So would
No,
you say...
no, Chris, what have you been playing, buddy?
I've been playing Monster Hunter Rise on the Xbox.
So have I, but go ahead.
That's it.
You haven't been playing anything else?
Well, he did play. He was helping me with Elden Ring. For a while.
No,
He coached
you're
me
correct.
through it.
I did help. I did help hit Ryan through Elden Ring and a little bit with you, Dan, in Elden Ring. I'm stuck in Melania. It's anybody who knows that boss, you know what I'm talking about.
Okay.
Yeah, I heard the frustration.
She's a you got a rubber mallet, and the handle is a pool noodle, and you're hitting a brick wall.
That moves like lightning.
That
But
is
brick
the
walls
best,
don't
like,
move.
you're not doing any damage because the second you do something, they slap some quick set concrete on there and it's healed.
Yeah, whenever she hits you, she gets healed. She heals herself.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Which is why that Let Me Solo Her is such a big deal by not getting hit by her. That's how he beats her. Because
The guy literally wears a jar for a helmet and he kicking tires and lighting some fires.
Interesting.
No, I
Interesting.
really haven't been playing too much. Just enjoying the lull of not having too many games coming out at one time. I'm waiting for Cyberpunk DLC. I cannot wait for it.
Well, you got, what is it? From the time we're recording right now, too, you're also waiting for Hogwarts, aren't you?
Not really. I mean, review wise, everything's so far it's been really good about it, but I'm gonna see what the YouTuber reviews are before I believe the real critic reviews, because critics are paid to play.
We're not making that claim. Don't make that claim.
well, plus they're just people like us. It's their opinion.
Yeah, don't make that claim. So, but no. So you're just kind of holding off then on Hogwarts right now.
I got a couple other things, and probably gonna be dabbling in ESO here soon.
Okay, got it. How does
Did you say ESO?
yeah
Oh yeah, I saw they were coming out with. I saw an ad for something with
yeah
ESO.
Necrom?
Yeah.
So if you pre-order Necrom, you get every single DLC, or every single DLC expansion, whatever you want to call it, prior you can play, and that's what's coming out in June 20th or something.
Nice.
So, but they really need to open that up.
What?
The fact that only Xbox players can play with Xbox and PC and all of that, they really need.
Oh,
to
I
open
didn't know that.
up.
I dabbled in it on Xbox.
You do not want PC players playing with console players.
Hey, we're not that bad.
Hey, we've already seen the shit show that's created for games recently. It takes less than a week for people to start calling it out, and trust me, I can still see it in Call of Duty.
Yeah,
You can still see the aimbot in full effect. 90% of the time I'm killed, you could see it's a PC player, and somehow they have a light machine gun. This big ass, if you don't know what that is, it's a big ass heavy gun that's hard to control. You really got to work on handling the recoil. They fire it they fire with the accuracy of an SMG.
Huh.
That's not possible unless you're using something. Like as far as staying on
Yeah.
target.
Katie, you're gonna say something?
Yes, I was. I forgot. I'm so sorry. Go on.
Okay.
The comment of console players and PC players need to be separate.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Thank you very much. Now, when I did work at that one store where we met, there are a lot of people that come in for those extra parts. They can get you banned online because it's cheating. I will say it's because I get that I sold a lot of them for people who, because they would say PC has an advantage, which it does. But what he got was basically like it like auto locks for him. He doesn't really have to aim. And I just remember my manager being such a jerk to him, and then saying like, "Yeah, I'll sell it, but I don't have to respect people who cheat."
Wow.
I'd call him out too.
Yep. True.
My manager, he said, "Are you sure you just don't want to, get good at the game?" I laughed.
Chris, with Monster Hunter, how you're still playing on the video? What is it? The VHS player Xbox, right?
Yes.
So the big one, the big Xbox One.
Yep, I'm playing on. You know what? Believe it or not, it like graphically compared to the Switch, I actually have graphic options. All the I have it on high settings, high frame rate, and it's pretty good. It's there's a little less input lag compared to the Switch.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know. Like playing it on Xbox, because I downloaded it for the Series X, and playing that, I don't think I mean, I'll play it on Switch one just because of how far we are. But
I don't think I'll be maining a Monster Hunter on the Switch for a while.
Yeah, no, this is the Xbox version actually is very, very good. So, but once again, that doesn't have cross play.
It has Xbox Game Pass crossplay.
So I could download it on my PC and play with you guys on Xbox?
Yes.
Really? I'd have to check that out. Because I can get it on both, and that would be really cool. But is it cross save though?
I don't know. I'm not going to tell you that one.
So, okay. So we got that.
I can at least say that if it's from Xbox, it usually can do cross-platform with PC, and that's just because Microsoft owns both. I did notice that.
That is true. Let's see. Monster Hunter Rise. Let's see. I'm looking right now. Cross-platform.
PS4, then it's not going to work.
Xbox cross-platform co-op. Cross-gen co-op. So it does look like... I mean, it just tells you what that is, but you can't click on it and say what exactly that is. So it looks like you probably could. It might be something to try. Just to see. Xbox Play Anywhere. So I could possibly do it. Okay, well, I'm clicking on it. We're going to install it. So, install. That's the fun part about having a computer right next to me.
The only game I know they haven't really done that with, well, there's plenty of games they haven't done it with, but, most of the time, PC and Xbox will be on the platform just because they're owned by the same person. But Fable, it never does it for Fable. Fable is always in Xbox only. And I don't understand that because the original Fable, I think, was made for PC. And Fable is coming back this year.
You got to look at it though. A system like Game Pass, that idea was non-existent.
That's true. When Fable was first, yeah.
Yeah, like when Fable came out, I mean, we're talking about like Xbox and then Xbox 360. I mean, so we really can't, if it's developed by Microsoft Studios, it will be on Game Pass.
Very true.
I believe that little trailer they said play it first on Xbox, which again, when they say Xbox, they include Game Pass.
That is true. And supposedly right now they're actually in Europe. They're actually beta testing like a family version of Xbox Game Pass. So like you buy, it's like $25 or $30 and you get like 5 people on it that get all the Game Pass stuff. So you don't need 5 different subscriptions. You only need one. So, but I think they're beta testing that, and I think it's Europe right now. But supposedly that's going to come across. Moving on to me. I have played a little bit of Crisis Core because I got that for Christmas. I'm trying to get back into The Last of Us because I'm what is it? Because the show came out. I actually started. So I found out I was about 3/4 of the way through the game, and then that's when the whole thing, which I've already talked about 100 times on here, when I transferred over from my PlayStation 4 to my PlayStation 5. So I'm finally back to like where I'm at in the story. So I want to continue that. Did start playing Monster Hunter Rise on Xbox, which I don't know why I'm doing that to myself again, but I am.
Back into the abyss.
Oh yeah, it's going back into the abyss. Dabbled a little bit in Elden Ring, and I think that was more just because we were all online playing it. Though I did get a code. It was provided by the developer Big Blue Bubble. So going out to Big Blue Bubble, there's a game called Power Chord that I was given a code to. So for review purposes and all of that. So I am conducting a review, initial review right now, just to kind of look at it. The story is basically, it's a deck building game. So, and you're basically these monsters or whatever, and you create a band, and you used music and heavy metal to defeat other monsters and all of that. And you kind of go through this tower, and so it's interesting. Like I said, it's a deck building game, so all your moves are basically by a card, and the cards will do something. So it's fun to play on the Steam Deck. Once again, it's kind of my theory when it comes to Crisis Core. Crisis Core is fun on the PC, but this game actually plays a lot better when it's on Steam Deck. Like I get more into it, I think. So that got released on the 26th of January. So like I said, I was provided a code from them, so I thank you for them. And a full review is going to be coming out soon from me on that. But it is a fun game. My initial thoughts right now is that it's very fun. It's a kind of a simple little game. There's not like a lot of thinking to it. It's just kind of follow the cards and what they do. So if you played a deck building game, go ahead and
you're saying it's easy if you're someone who's not experienced in it. It's easy to pick up.
The elements of it are not necessarily that hard to pick up.
There's not a big learning curve.
Yeah, and if you kind of like a little cheesy metal monster blood and all of that, I mean it's a fun game to pick up. And it's not that expensive. It's an indie game. So, like I said, I'm going to have a separate little podcast thing about a review for it. So stick out for that. But Power Chord, Big Blue Bubble, check it out. It is a fun game. So that's what I've been playing, and all of that. So I do want to go back a little bit to the Video Game Awards and all of that. We made a lot of predictions and all that. And it seems like a lot of our predictions came true. I'm not going to kind of go and rehash all of that, especially when Katie wasn't here, so she would kind of be lost on what we picked. Though I do want to go back to that debate. Okay, so and the question is, it's not. I don't want to get into the should Elden Ring have won it? Should God of War won it? We've already killed the horse, resurrected, and killed the horse again, beat it up again when it came to this. But the question I have is, looking at it, is it possible to really kind of pit these games against each other?
They did.
Well, that's what I'm saying. But that's what I'm saying. Is that an unfair thing? So, Ryan, I'm going to take you. Okay, you are not a base building person. You don't like those types of games, or you don't prefer. I don't want to say like. You just don't prefer them. You don't prefer Japanese style type sort of games. I mean, it takes you a little bit to get into it. So, like, if I gave you like a straight anime game, you would look at the art style and be like, I don't think so.
It would depend.
It would take a lot for you to be interested in it.
Yeah.
But if I gave,
I've explained this before. It's a visual.
Yeah, it's just a visual thing to you. But if I give you a game like Ghost Recon, that says, hey, you're going to be this guy. You're going to customize your guy that's going to look very authentic to real life. You have real authentic gunplay, thought, process to it, gunsmithing, exploration, all of that. I mean, that's kind of your wheelhouse. You know, look at The Division. Look at Ghost War. Not Ghost. What's that one? Breakpoint.
Wildlands.
Yeah, Wildlands. All of that. So you like that, okay? So everybody has their opinions. So when it comes to that, so Katie, getting to know you, you like the anime type sort of games. So how can, and I get that there's panels that kind of look at this on an unbiased, basis. But do you think that there might be so many just different variations of genres that to call one game a game of the year is unfair, and that we should have like game of the year for action, game of the year for RPG?
Well, they do that when they give away the best RPG, best action, adventure.
So, but what I'm saying is that game of the year, should you look at it and say, you can't do a best game of the year, like overall game of the year, because there's so many different variations that go into it. Like, how do you stay unbiased on that? And is it the panel that they put up? And I'm not going to question the panel and the biasness of panels or unbiasedness of the panels, but and they do publish like who was on the panel to look at these games. I mean, do you really feel that that's an accurate representation of, how can, if we're looking at multi-millions of people playing video games nowadays, it's not 20 years ago where you only had, so many millions of people playing. Now you have, it's a staple now when it comes to conversations.
Gaming's mainstream.
Yeah, gaming is mainstream. How can you have 30 people who run their own outlets be suddenly the voice of millions of people when it comes to games? Like, should there be a lot more that goes into the criteria, or publish the criteria for what makes a game of the year?
Yeah, I believe, because you gotta look at it this way. Some people hate shooters. Some people hate RPGs. So it is like, it's biased because, of course, like, no one's gonna, for Elden Ring, a lot of people won't try if they're just used to shooters. And so, yeah, there should be. Yeah, I do believe there should be a category, and I don't believe it should be up to, like you said, like 30 people picking it or something like that. I think we should look what sells the best, what's getting the best reviews, and stuff like that. And kind of having the people have a say in it.
I get it. I get what you're saying, and see, I mean, and you kind of stumbled a little bit trying to talk about it, because it's hard to quantify it. Like the thought process is like, oh yeah, you're right. I mean, we're gonna get these group of people, and they're unbiased. They're the voice of video games. From the IGNs and GameSpots and Game Informer and I mean whoever else, and in their merits, congrats to them for the success that they have in their outlets and their platforms that they go on. Whether or not you agree with what they write about and say or not, they've had success. So obviously they are looked at platforms that are influencers or influence opinion. But what I'm saying is that it's very hard to me. It's to quantify that. Like, what would quantify a game of the year? What would quantify to say, yes, this is great? Because, like, Ryan, you have a really good point. You're not bashing Elden Ring.
No.
You're not saying that it's a bad game.
I don't not like Elden Ring.
Yeah. You're just saying that when you think of a game of the year, it's just not a game of the year to you.
No. It's...
Kay, do you have something?
I was very honestly surprised at one. I knew it was a good game. I was gonna wait until it went on sale on Steam, but it really never did. Yeah. Yeah, Elden Ring. I forgot what I was gonna say again. I'm sorry.
It's okay, Chris. What's your thought, Chris? Did we lose Chris?
I know what you're talking about. Like
Okay.
you're trying. It's like you want like a game of the year for best storytelling, game of the year for best action RPG. But here's the thing: these game rewards are going to be 3 days long. All right, so you got to go over that year. What was the best game for that year? I'm not saying God of War was not a great game. It was. Did it deserve that spot? Maybe, but is it a console exclusive and has a lot holding it against it because of that? Definitely. I mean, but breaking everything down into subcategories, it's gonna just be too much.
Well, see, there's part of the argument there. Why being a console exclusive should it diminish the quality of the game? Game of the year is based on the quality. If it's the best game of the year, it's regardless of if it's exclusive to a platform.
But here's God of War was just more of the same of the last one.
It was everything improved.
But that's the thing.
Drastically.
That's a system that works. I mean, think of it.
Don't fix it if it ain't broken.
Well, that's going to be the thing. Isn't Dark Souls very similar to that argument?
I mean, we haven't had a Dark Souls game in a long time.
But
I mean, you basically have Elden Ring, a Dark Souls game?
Isn't Elden Ring just harder in open world?
So, I mean, what they did with Elden Ring versus Dark Souls, so there's a lot of good, there's a lot of bad. All right. The open world is both really great and really bad in Elden Ring. You have so much to do, so many places to go, and there's such little hand holding there that people make mistakes and they go fight a boss that they're not supposed to when they're supposed to go south. But nobody tells you that. But then you got God of War. Again, it's a cinematic adventure. You know, it's a great story, solid character. There's a lot of emotion.
Excellent
But at the
gameplay.
same time, I disagree. It's boring.
The combat is so much more
I find the combat in God of War Ragnarok
engaging.
boring. I got a head on me that doesn't shut up. Of course I know Kratos was on fire. He's burning.
What?
But God of War combat, I mean, it's there's not too many bosses in the game if you really think about it that are gods.
Okay. Well, let's not spoil anything because the game is still fairly new. Okay. But no, I mean, but I get it. Like this is the discussion. Like how do you?
I'll break down the difference I see in the combat. Elden Ring tries to do too much, I think.
Okay.
It's a great thing to have all these options and all these weapons and everything, but that severely limits the variation of what you can do with each weapon. It's very basic.
Okay.
Compared to God of War, it's focused. And it's more flashy, but you can do a lot with those two weapons.
Yep.
Then it makes it more engaging and more fun.
Katie?
Okay, so God of War usually is straight storyline. Not really open world too much. I have not played the new one, by the way, so I cannot speak for it. But I do think you should take into account longevity of the game. Because while you say Elden Ring's too much, you can also play the game way longer if you don't want to speed run and beat it right away. You know, it's more enjoyable if you really enjoy the game and let more longevity to it.
Okay.
But that brings up the discussion quality over quantity. Like, when is too much? Like I've heard a lot of voices saying that games, like especially open world games, are getting too big, and there's almost too many hours you're going to have to put into it. So that's that other side of that argument.
Well, some people like that. It's like some people can only afford 5 or 6 games a year, so that's.
I'm just bringing up the other side of that argument, though I understand it, but.
I get it.
Like with Assassin's Creed, for example, it was getting bigger and bigger, and the new one coming out is smaller in scale because that's what fans have been asking for. A more streamlined experience. I'm not saying that's why God of War, that's the single reason. I'm just saying that that's the other side of that argument.
I get it.
Is bigger better?
Very true. Very true. So,
Yeah,
so first off, just a little side note. While you guys have been talking, I can confirm there is cross-save and cross-platform between Xbox and PC for Monster Hunter because I just loaded up my guy from Xbox.
What in the Beard of Zeus is that thing?
That is the hunting horn.
No, turn around. That thing.
Oh, that's a dog. That has armor on. So that armor is a Royal Ludroth.
Getting a little sidetracked.
Am I?
Yeah.
Okay. So
you just like we were
Sorry.
focused on a discussion and you just went.
By the way,
way
it
off. Yeah,
works.
by the way. So, okay. So, going into that, no, but I mean, but this kind of brings up this is exactly why I asked this question. Okay. You guys all three of you have brought up very good arguments. From one is the story streamlined. One is, length of the actual game to.
Can I bring up one more point?
Sure.
Like they were both saying that God of War's story based. It's story, and you can go through it quicker. That depends on the difficulty you're playing. You play that sucker on Give Me God of War.
I mean, yeah. I mean,
you ain't steamrolling through it.
That's very true. So,
Argument can be said though for Elden Ring, with
Doesn't have a difficulty setting.
Joe, it does. All right,
it actually has an easy setting.
Yeah, it depends on if you farm.
It's called. All right, I'm gonna jump off of this place and I'm gonna fast travel. And I'm gonna get 100,000 souls every 5 minutes. That's easy mode.
Very true. Very true.
But then that takes away from the experience of the game. I did that to give myself an advantage, but now you're not just like playing the game. Now you're
cheesing the game.
Now you have to cheese it in order to actually enjoy the game instead of just being able to go, oh well, I don't want to really. I just want to experience things, so I'm going to put it on this.
So I think what I would do is that. So we always get these like okay, so this is just the winner. Like we just have to accept that this is the winner. I would love to see the report that they put together. Like I would love to read what were the deciding factors of why this game won over this game. Like to me, even on that's how much
we're
of an
not even
analytic...
talking about this year. Any
year. Like
this isn't the first controversial year.
Yeah, well, and that's the thing. So like, and I wouldn't necessarily call it controversial. I would just call it that there's a lot of interest in it. Because I don't think that.
No, because you had these two heavyweights going.
Correct. You had these huge heavyweights going. I would love to once again. I would love to see the report of how they determined that. Elden Ring, and I'm not disagreeing with it.
No, it's their decision.
Yeah, like I'm not saying that was a shitty decision.
I've never bashed. I was just
yeah, and all of that. I would just love to. That's where I'm getting at. I would love to see where that criteria came in, what was discussed, and how that decision was made to make that game of the year.
Mm-hmm.
I think it would be pretty cool to kind of push that. So I don't know if you guys are listening.
I would be very interested in reading that.
Yeah, report. I would be too. If you do want to get into the discussion with us about this, we do Twitch. So that's twitch.tv/thesavepointtv. If you are listening to this and, make a comment or whatever, come and chat with us, or just on our socials, at the Save Point, on Twitter. Would love to get your thought process on are you just okay with accepting that these are the people that make the decision and that's where the awards go out and don't need to? Or would you love to see how everything broke down of why these games got the awards that they did? I would love to read that report. That's just me.
No, I agree with that.
Yep.
But then the other side is, what do you do if it's not going to be 30 people? What are you going to have, like the fans vote for Game of the Year? Because that's a crap show. Because they could vote for they could make it a joke.
Yep. Exactly.
They could vote. You could have Elden Ring, God of War, and Stray up, and they could be. Hey, it'd be funny if we all voted for Stray.
Yep. Exactly. So, but you know what? I think that's going to do it. We were going to talk a little bit about Hogwarts, but I think we'll probably save that for the next one because by the time that we record next, Hogwarts will be out, so I think we'll have a better idea of how we feel about the game. We'll see if Chris and Ryan actually do pick up the game or not. No. That's why I was waiting for Ryan to just do that. But Katie,
Harry Potter's not my thing, man.
I know, but it's not Harry Potter though.
It's Harry Potter. It's not my thing, dude.
True. So Katie, this was your first podcast, and welcome. Hopefully, you decide that you want to come back. Hopefully, you're coming back.
Thank you very much, and I think I will.
All right, cool. Chris, any final thoughts that you got about anything with this?
No. Everything's been summarized pretty well.
Okay, sounds good. So that, like I said, that will do it for us here at the Save Point. So once again, check us out at Twitter at the Save Point. If you check us out on our Instagram, it's Save Point TV, all underscore between each word. And then check us out at Twitch at twitch.tv /the Save Point TV. But that will do it for us. Have a good one. Take care of yourselves. And until next time.
Deuces.